Alright, welcome back to Check Your Corners. We have concluded the VCT challengers for almost all the countries and regions, but for APAC specifically, we are going to be talking about the teams that made it through and maybe some comments on what happened in the past week or so in the Valorant, Southeast Asia, and APAC scene. So, let's once again start with Team Secret. They didn't make it. Yeah, it's pretty disappointing, especially for the team. But I guess this shows how competitive the Philippines is as a country and a region. And this is just exciting. I'm really happy for them. And I'm really looking forward to see all these up-and-coming teams and players, showcase their talents in APAC. And I think there's a very bright future ahead for the Philippines. So, congratulations to the Filipino teams. Southbuilt Esports, of course, as the champions. Amazing lower bracket run. They got knocked down to the lower bracket in the early stage of the playoffs, and they made it all the way and became champions. So, amazing stuff. Naos as well as the runner-ups. And something about Naos is that they were known as Fallen 5 when they first entered the scene. And when I was coaching Alter Ego, we played against Naos, and we were seeing some potential, yes. But honestly, I'm pretty surprised about how much progress they've made since then. And it's good to see that now Naos is representing the Philippines at APAC. And Action PH, honestly, they were my favorites going into the Philippines of challengers. But I guess, again, Philippines competitive region, it's insane how good the country is. And I'm just happy that Action PH made it through. Albeit they have to go and play in the play-ins, which is a bummer. But hey, APAC playoffs is APAC playoffs, so good luck and fun to the Philippines. And speaking of amazing lower bracket runs, over at MYSG, Bleed Esports made it all the way from the lower bracket to the grand finals as well. But alas, they lost to PaperX, the kings of MYSG. And I can't say I'm surprised. I've always thought that MYSG is kind of boring, dare I say, because, well, PaperX is there, so obviously PaperX is going to be the winner. And hell, it is what it is. But hey, an honorable mention, of course, to the runner-ups and the second runner-up, No Namers. They made it through, and honestly, it's a very amazing thing that they are called No Namers, and now they definitely have a name for themselves. But they're now known as No Namers, so their name is No Namers. So, do they have names? So yeah, congratulations to MYSG teams that made it to the APAC playoffs. I'm looking forward to see them play, and hopefully we'll see some surprises and not just PaperX this, PaperX that. Good luck, have fun. Now let's get over to Thailand. X10 can never seem to get out of the spotlight when it comes to trouble. Last year they were involved in the Cypher Cam fiasco, and now their coach Obi has been suspended immediately, a few hours after it was found that he was given unauthorized instructions. They were engaging in unauthorized communications. And, well, this is just a version of Help Sewers, but Thai. So it's Help Sewers Cop. But jokes aside, it was unfortunate for X10 to get eliminated because of such a thing. And I guess it was kind of their fault, but it's still available for everyone, and I'm sure there are naughty coaches out there who are doing this, but just better at not, mistyping their keyboard, not clicking Shift-Enter, and, well, it is a problem, and I don't know yet how we can fix that. Maybe I should really talk about that or think about it and make a video out of it. But for now, all that I know is that X10 is out. And of course, their ex-players who've moved over to Xerxia, they made it all the way to the top. No surprise. They are the champions of VCT Thailand Challengers. Runner-ups are made in Thailand. A relatively new org entering the Valorant scene. The org itself is old as shit. But it's amazing to see them make a comeback into the FPS scene. So welcome back, Made in Thailand. And Full Sense, I don't know what happened to Full Sense, but hey, they are still in APAC playoffs. And again, they are going to have to play in the play-in, so that's not going to be a very fun ride for them per se. Still, they get a slot, and they will have another chance to fight it out and make it to the group stage. So Thailand, good luck, have fun. Hopefully no more help sewers will come up in the future. So
Okay.
now, Indonesia, my region. Oh my god, it's been a wild ride. I've been heavily involved. I was doing watch parties for all the matches, well, almost all the matches. I was a desk analyst for some of the matches, and one of the matches that I was an analyst in was Alter Ego versus BWL, Boy With Love, and holy crapperino, there was a lot of drama in that one. The first map played was Split, and there was this cipher cam that you can always put before the barriers got lifted, and that was on top of Sewer's entrance towards A main as an attacker, where you can put up the camera, and the camera will be able to look towards screens, and sometimes defenders can see that camera before the barrier gets lifted. And this apparently is in the bug list that Riot has officially issued to all the competing teams. And well, it's not allowed. And apparently, Alter Ego was found to have used that bug for 6 rounds. And so, at the end of that investigation, where we had a technical pause, they were given a slap. And not just a slap on the wrist, but a slap, like a hard slap in the face. They were up 8-4 in the second half, and after that investigation and the official ruling came, they were reset to 2-10. 2 for Alter Ego and 10 for Boy With Love. And holy crap, that is tilting, I'm sure, for Alter Ego. And so, at the desk, we were talking with the casters, that maybe Alter Ego should just let this go. Maybe Alter Ego should just let map 1 slide, because hell, I don't think it's easy to come back from 2-10, and they can just focus their energy on the second map and third map. But Alter Ego said no. In one of the most heart-wrenching, sweat-inducing matches that I've ever witnessed in Indonesian Valorant, Alter Ego went back and won the map 14-12 against Boy With Love, and holy crap, it just made me proud. You know, I was their ex-coach. Oh my god, these are the boys that I was nurturing, that I was helping get better at the game, and this is what they showed me when I was an analyst on the desk. Hells yes, Alter Ego. Amazing comeback. They will win this series for sure. No, they lost 2-1 because the next map they got destroyed. And, well, they pulled off their signature move in the third map, Alter Ethro, with a 12-6 lead on Bind, and they lost that 14-12, so, unlucky. On a side note, I'm pretty sad because bugs are still a major problem in this scene. The Valorant game itself and in the games that we've been witnessing. Yes, it is the responsibility of the teams to read through the bug list and make sure the players do not exploit any of the bugs, but let's be honest, it's a bug list. It's a long list. Riot. Hopefully we'll have those fixed, which Riot are fixing, by the way. Maybe we can have a bug-free game by like 2035, so we'll see. But yeah, I just think that it's hard to blame the teams because there's an extensive list of bugs, and I'm sure we're human. We don't remember details all that well. I don't even remember what I had for lunch yesterday. So let's hope that we can have a more consistent ruling across the regions, because I've seen different ways of TOs making rulings for different teams and different bugs. So let's just have that fixed for now. And if that's okay, then I guess nobody can really complain when they are punished because they have been using a bug that's obviously in the bug list, and there's less drama about bugs. So there's that. But aside from that, I think it's been an amazing challengers, this stage 1 for Indonesia, because we have this Cinderella story as well with Boy With Love, where they were this underdog team. Even though they were filled with veterans, I think it was still kind of hard for them to match up against the top 3 invited teams, Boom, Onyx, and AE, because, well, These three organizations are called organizations for a reason. They have staff, support staff, they have boot camps, while Boy With Love are just veterans who got bored playing with their teams and they just wanted to try their hand at Challenger Stage 1 2022. But instead, they went all the way to the grand finals, beating AE, beating Onyx Esports, and finally at the grand finals, they lost 3-0 against Boom Esports, where I thought if they could have won against Boom Esports, it would have been the most amazing underdog story, where this orgless, unpaid, no bootcamp team will have beaten Onyx, AE, and Boom, all three invited teams. But hey, it was already pretty amazing that what they did. So losing to Boom Esports wasn't really that hard for them to accept, I would assume. And Boom Esports showed that they are amazingly prepared for this challengers, even though they were, there were hiccups along the way. They did lose to a few teams like Onyx, for example, and they did lose a map, I think, against BTR, and it was kind of scary. There was a moment where we thought that Boom was going to skip stage 1, just like Team Secret, but in the end they recovered, and in the last day of the Challengers VCT Stage 1 Indonesia, they went flawless and just won all 5 maps in the lower bracket finals and as well as in the grand finals. So congratulations to the winners of the VCT Indonesia Stage 1. Boom as the champions, Boy With Love runner-ups, and Onyx Esports will have to go to the play-in before going to the group stage. So good luck, have fun, Indonesia. I'm gonna be repping Indonesia, so I'm sorry about this bias, but it is what it is. I am Indonesian. But yeah, let's talk about other teams now. Going over to VCC, it was kind of expected, but I was excited for a second because teams were starting to show up, and the shared throne of GE and VLT were finally shaking, but in the end, the Kings prevailed, and so the representatives of VCC, or of Southeast Asia, to the APAC playoffs are your VLT, which is Velocity Gaming, and GE, Global Esports. They have shown us that they were the two teams to look out for. They were the kings that just, shared the throne. One day, hey, I'm going to take this throne for like for a few months, and then Global Esports just came and said, no, let me share this throne and sit on it for 2 months. Finally, Velocity Gaming said, no, let me take this back, and they won VCC as the champions and Global Esports as the runner-ups. This is kind of worrying because this is like the opposite of Philippines, where all the kings are knocked off their thrones, while here, South Asia, they have expected results. Now, expected results are kind of scary because that means there's no real competition from all the other teams, and this is an indication that VCC might need to support all these other teams with more tournaments, and hopefully these other teams can, I guess, buck up and provide some competition to these kings, and we'll see if Velocity Gaming and Global Esports can make it through the group stages and of course to the playoffs and the APAC playoffs. So hopefully we'll see some fun stuff from them. Good luck, have fun to Velocity Gaming and Global Esports. Finally, some honorable mentions. Of course, we have to also look at the Hong Kong and Taiwan challengers, the champions, Oblivion Force, and the runner-ups, Griffin Esports. I'll be honest, I do not know them very well, so I cannot comment too much. Maybe if they give us some good impressions in APAC playoffs, we'll then talk about them. But for now, just know that Oblivion Force and Griffin Esports are the reps of Hong Kong and Taiwan to the APAC playoffs. Vietnam, of course, we have been seeing Vietnam, I guess, grow as a scene. Cerberus Esports are their champions. Fancy United as the runner-ups. And Big Bam, again, a surprise where the team that made it to the Southeast Asian playoffs last year will have to play in the play-ins for this year. And I guess all I can say is, again, good luck and have fun to the Vietnamese teams. I would love to see some surprises from this region so that I can talk more about them in the future. And of course, Bonkers from Oceania. I mean, this gotta be my favorite team in terms of naming, and their logo is just a doggy bonking a squirrel. So yeah, it's been a pretty fun ride for them, upsetting Order and now repping Oceania, Australia to be specific, in the APAC playoffs. And I would love to see what they can do as a region because we haven't really seen them play. I've never really scrimmed against Oceania teams because, well, ping issues is something. So we'll see. Good luck, have fun to Bonkers. I would love to see what they have in store. Now that we have the extensive list of teams representing each country at the APAC playoffs, I want to just mention a few names that I think will be the highlights of APAC playoffs. The teams that will have the most potential to, I guess, produce good results over there. Thailand, of course, we have Sersha XX10. They were representing Southeast Asia even in the Champions 2021, and they made it all the way to the playoffs. So it was amazing for them to do that, and now they are back at it, and I think they have a great chance, especially with the experience they've gathered from Champions Berlin 2021. From Singapore, obviously, PaperX. I mean, I have no doubt that PaperX have improved a ton with their Iceland experience from 2021 as well, and they've just been very consistent. Especially with the addition of Jing last year, it was a scary team that all these other teams from Southeast Asia just were aware of, and PaperX will have a chance to prove that they are indeed one of the top contenders for APAC playoffs, and maybe even possibly making it to Masters Reykjavik this year. Boom Esports from Indonesia obviously have been very prepared. They've added in a coach, they've added in an analyst, and they have been very prepared as well. And they made a very strong case that they are one of the teams to look out for that will also have a chance to make it to Masters Reykjavik. And that will be a very good change in the dynamics of Southeast Asia. You know, it's always been Thailand and Philippines. Maybe this year we can have Singapore and Indonesia, and Boom Esports will try and make that happen. And so good luck to them, especially coming from me as an Indonesian. VCC Global Esports, they were in the spotlight last year, especially SK Rossi himself, and Global Esports is back at it. So I would love to see what progress they've made since their LCQ appearance last year, and maybe this year with this official induction of South Asia into the scene, Global Esports will be able to make an impact for South Asia as a whole. And finally, I would mention South Built Esports as one of the most consistent organizations last year in the Philippines, and also as the champions of VCT Stage 1 Philippines this year. South Built Esports made a strong case. I think they are one of the most, consistent. You know, they're not very flashy. There's no like big news around South Built Esports. And now that they are the champions of VCT PH, they will be showing us what they got. And I cannot wait to see them play. I apologize if I can't mention any of the teams from the other regions, like Bonkers, or from the Taiwanese and Hong Kong teams. Or from Vietnam, because honestly, I don't watch them very well. Like, I don't watch them a lot, and I guess it will be irresponsible for me to, mention a name without really knowing the scene. So I'm just gonna leave it at that, and you can look at the VLR Power rankings of the 20 teams that's gonna be participating in the APAC playoffs, and make your own decisions and assumptions and conclusions. And with that, we have wrapped up this, preview to what you can expect from the APAC playoffs with the teams representing each country in the region. I'm really excited, man. I think this year's competition has been stiff. It's been pretty tight between one team and another. And I just love looking at these teams grow, like at all these underdog stories. And I would love to see some upsets come in the play-ins. Like, that's some potential upsets there. And of course, the group stages, the playoffs are going to be crazy exciting, and I can't wait to watch them all and also be an analyst or caster there. So yeah, that's pretty good. Now, I guess we can take a look at what's been happening around the world as well. There are two news I want to talk about. One is that Riot is going to be supporting APAC even more. This is great news, guys. You and me know, if you are in Asia Pacific, whatever country you're from, you know that this scene has been pretty exciting, but we just want to see more support. We want to see the scene grow even more, and Riot does too. And they are going to be opening offices in, across the region. I don't know where. I don't know if they're going to open up an Indonesian office where I can just hang out there or something. But hey, if you are, you can probably slide into my DMs, Ryan. I would love that. Please, thank you. But the main thing is they are going to be supporting us more, so hopefully we'll see the Southeast Asian and the Asia Pacific region as a whole grow into a more competitive region, and we will finally be able to beat EMEA, NA, Korea as the regions that have been the giants of esports since forever. Another news is that Kellogg's have finally parted ways with the G2, and Mixwell are going to be filling in that spot again. And Kellogg's actually signed with Team Heretics, so that's exciting. I don't know what it's going to look like, but it is change that we will be seeing in the next few months, and I would love to see how G2 try and make it work again with Mixwell after switching back and forth with Kellogg's for a few times now. So there's that. And lastly, I just want to talk about 100 Thieves a little bit. Yeah, they got 13-0'd, and the memes are out. 130 thieves. Oh wait, they have 100 thieves and they can't steal around. But honestly, I took a look at the game, and I gotta say, 100 thieves, they made some of the best decisions they could have made in a few of the rounds there. And they still lost because, well, I guess Saya player just didn't give a shit. He just flew up draft, killed 2, dashed away, and then went back in to kill 2 more. And, however good your decision making is in a round as a team, you just can't beat players who pop off like that. So I would have to attribute 100 Thieves' loss to Saya player and the team. They are pretty unlucky in that series. So yeah, that 13-0. Yeah, it was kind of extreme for them to just let go of Baby J and Eccles like straight away. I would love to see them give Eccles more time, especially as an import player. But it is what it is. I saw Nate Shot's statement, and it was an interesting one. And I was prompted to start thinking and drafting a video talking about coaching philosophies and how a team, I guess, share their vision as players, because it is a team game. You have 5 different minds playing together in a team, and you have to somehow unify their visions and work towards an objective goal that everybody agrees upon. And yeah, it might be an interesting conversation, but that'll have to wait. For now, know that this is what I've prepared for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope we can continue doing this. And if you want to see more, please let me know what you want to see in the comments. And of course, while you're down there, drop a like, give me a subscribe, share this video with those who care about the APAC region, and let me know what I can improve, because I will keep on improving this as much as I can. But hey, until then, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and don't forget, check your corners.